Yeah.
Let's go. We ride in Jesus' name. Bring Jesus in and shame. Declare Jesus to the ends of the earth.
Well, good morning, Get Wrecked for Recovery crew. So it's day 66 of the Redeeming Eden Cycle Tour, RECT, Get Wrecked for Recovery, a bicycle trip up the Atlantic coast of America to bring awareness that there are addiction recovery options available, that you don't have to die in your addiction. There's churches, Celebrate Recoveries, and rescue missions all over the nation, all over the world, that just want to help you, talk to you, and love you if you find yourself battling addiction. So I'm here on the Erie Canal. There is my tent. I'm literally just right on the side of the trail. The most uneventful night I've ever had camping. Crows this morning, you know, that was pretty much it. Like, nothing. There was nothing. Before I went to sleep last night, 2 different cyclists rode by, both with e-bikes because I could hear that whir. And then a 4-wheeler of some kind, or a dirt bike. I mean, it was, I think it was a 2-stroke. It was like, you know, that just kind of nasty sounding motor. I mean, good sounding motor, just not, you know, a 4-stroke. This morning, some type of car drove by. I think it was an Erie Canal trail car, like it had insignia on it. I just didn't have time to read it. By the time that I looked over, it was, you know, just disappeared past the tent. And they didn't seem to care that I was here. So I'm not saying that it's a thing, but it could possibly be a thing. I mean, like I said, I am on a section where there are no houses on that side, and there are no houses on this side. There are no houses that way. There are no houses that way. I mean, so the only people that could possibly be offended by the fact that I'm here would be people that ride by on the trail. Because nobody knows. Like, nobody knows. Nobody. So, night number 1 of stealth camping. Not stealth camping at all. Literally just camping. Wild camping the Erie Canal Trail. Was a success. I hope that I don't have another night like that. It looks like there's a lot more locks as I move farther east. The locks start, you know, being like every 10 miles or so. So this whole flat section, really, from Buffalo all the way to here and to Rochester, I mean, there's only 2 locks, 34 and 35. Now, there used to be like 70. Anyway. Yeah, I'm going to get into the mountainy part. I still don't think there's any big hills until I get to Albany. It's mostly flat. But I literally just opened my eyes and it is 9 o'clock. I slept hard. Like, totally uneventful night. It felt good. Anyway, I'm going to pack up this beautiful camp I have set. You know, another note, I don't build fires. So I think, you know, I've got that going for me too. I would imagine that if you're going to build a fire, they would want it to be in a ring. But without building a fire, I think they're just like, he got tired. So, yeah. I'm going to break down camp now. Read my Bible.
Strike that. Reverse it.
And then get on the road. And you'll see more of that right about now. So that's the very first traffic I've seen between the 2 locks. I never saw another boat yesterday. I saw 1 kayaker. And now there's another boat coming. So they must have just like let them through the Rochester lock and they've just been following each other. Pretty cool. That's a really big boat. I was not expecting that. Anyway, just thought I'd throw that in there. Let's go. lights. So I just rolled into Brockport, and I would highly recommend that if you are cycling the Erie Canal towpath that you stop into this quaint little town. It's amazing. They've got like a clock tower that they've restored.
Save the clock tower. At the Hill Valley Preservation Society, think it should be preserved exactly the way it is, as part of our history and heritage.
There you go, lady. There's a quart.
So yeah, it's just really, really beautiful. They've got a theater, all kinds of stuff. Like, it's one of those, you know, Erie Canal towns. But I stopped in here to the Brockport Diner, and immediately Charlene, my server, was like, I was like, have you got a place I can charge my phone? And she was like, yeah, absolutely. So she walked me over to a seat, made sure everything was good, on time with the coffee, brought water too. Like, really good service here. Really, really good service here. So I sat here on the phone and just kind of looked up where I need to make it to. And I keep hearing this Macedon lock, the next lock after Rochester, is really good. And Carol Carpenter-Lichten had told me about solar eclipse tomorrow morning at 5:30 that I should be able to see. So I kind of want to make sure I'm on a part of the canal where I can see the sunrise, just like all these things are coming together. So I was like, well, the only thing I'm going to need is electrical, because, you know, I've got my 2 nights in the wild now. Now I'm going to need an electrical night so that I can continue to vlog for you guys. So looked it up, called the lock guy. His name was Jeff. He was like, oh yeah, it's first come, first serve. I don't see any tents here now. So, I mean, you know, I doubt that there's going to be. He said, but you're welcome to stay here. I said, what about electrical? He was like, yeah. And he kind of told me a place where there was an outlet at. He was like, you're welcome to use it. It's on my garage. And I was like, really? He's like, yeah. He said, as a matter of fact, if the weather gets bad, there's a fireman's pavilion across the street that people camp under from time to time. And he said, I think there's 2 outlets by the bench over there too. I was like, that's all the questions that a guy could need answered. Thank you so much. So I get up to leave, and a lady named Becky Rylon, was sitting at a table, and she was like, did somebody down the street say that they didn't like your beard, or that you had a bad beard or something? I was like, if they did, I did not hear it. I've had my headphones in, you know, riding, listening to worship music most of the day. And so she was like, okay, because somebody came into my salon and said that there was a guy that went by with a big beard, and I told him it looked bad. And she said, your beard looks incredible. Like, I really like it. And so I told her what I was doing. She gave me $100. So cool. Thank you, Becky. So yeah, like, so far, I love it when a plan comes together. This one's turning out to be a good day. It feels good outside. Doesn't look like it's gonna rain. Let's go. even is this? Rochester is the strangest part of the Erie Canal towpath I've been in yet. I literally have not passed a gas station. And now the trail, literally REI. I'm gonna go see if they're open and go in, just because. Let's go. I absolutely love REI. Crazy. Alright, so I made it to the South Macedon Fire and Rescue here in Macedon, New York. It was established in 2013. Pulled up to the lock number 30, and Jeff was like, hey, you're more than welcome to camp here, and I was like, okay. He told me where an electrical outlet was that I could use, and I was like, okay. When we were on the phone earlier, he said that sometimes in inclement weather, people will use this pavilion. And I couldn't see it in my mind how far away it was. So when I pulled up, the sun was still like bright. I've already sat down and oiled my chain, got my bike all situated, got all my plethora, I would even say, myriad of things charging. But it was really bright and hot. And so I called the fire station and spoke to the chief, and he was like, you know, I said, I know it's not inclement weather, but would you mind if I used your pavilion for the night? And he said, absolutely. You know, people do it all the time, so it's not like on a map or anything that I know of. But you can definitely ask, and if so, they've even got an electrical outlet. So I've got every single thing, all the things charging. I have ordered my pizza. It should be here shortly. And yeah, I'm going to get ready for this eclipse in the morning. I hope that I'll be able to see it. The sun is setting right here, so I would imagine it's going to rise right down over the water, and hopefully I'll be able to check that out. I'd also like to get, this lock has been pretty active. I'd like to get that on time lapse. But yeah, in order to do all that, I got to end the video here. So if you know anybody who has passed away from addiction in any form or fashion, please drop their name in the comments or find me through the Popple link in the description, and I would love to ride for your person and celebrate their life with you for a day. If you know anybody who is actively addicted, share this with them. I don't want to see anybody else die from addiction. I know you don't either. Let's use Redeeming Eden as a tool that we might save a life. This is the REACCT Tour, REACCT, the Redeeming Eden Atlantic Coast Cycle Tour, plus Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Vermont, and New Hampshire. And I need you to react. I need you to like the videos, comment on the videos on YouTube, share the videos on your social media profiles, subscribe to the YouTube channel. All those things will go a long way in helping to build Redeeming Eden, the Garden Rehab. Last but not least, don't forget that Redeeming Eden is a nonprofit ministry through International Gospel Outreach. I'll leave a link to them in the description. You can go there, you can find out more about Redeeming Eden and about the Cody Jordan Forever Funeral Fund. Or you can go and watch the day one video from this series, the REACT tour. So yeah, from here at Lock 30 at the Fireman's Pavilion at the Canal Park. It is a beautiful park. Really nice place. And I'm going through all these mountains too, which is kind of neat. But it's been good flat riding. The ride today was incredible. No more of the rut. Now it's like, you know, every time I looked down I was going 14, so I probably averaged around 12 miles an hour a day. I hadn't checked it. But the path, no washboard, no nothing. I mean, it was just straight flat ride. I had one little incident. I almost wrecked. It's like a type of clay, but it's stone, so it gets mushy again real fast. But I rode into someone else's bike rut, the inch-deep bike rut, and I couldn't ride out of it. Like, I went to ride out of it, and the bike started to tip, and I finally was able to yank it up out of it. So, other than that, very pleasant ride today. A lot of it was paved through Rochester. Rochester was crazy, just coming up to an REI out of nowhere. Very cool. Nothing close that I see here to eat, but hey, I mean, at least there's power, there's shelter. I don't even have to set up a tent tonight. I'm going to lay my mat right here on this picnic table. But from here on this picnic table, under this pavilion at Lock 30 in Macedon, New York, I love you guys. Jesus loves you. I'll see you later. Have a good night. You didn't think the video was going to end without me showing you what I got at REI. So I got this sticker right here, REI Co-op. I got some more oil, which is why I was oiling my chain. I had actually run out in Niagara and meant to go and never did. We didn't rent a car. And then I've got this bell. So since I've been on all these bike paths, I have needed a bell. I've had a little bell, but it was just not functioning well. And when Chris Stowell passed me in Beaufort, South Carolina, when I had the bike wreck, when he rode by, he had that bell and he rang it. And I mean, he was 40 yards away, and I was like, so I wanted to get one, and I finally found one. And so, Becky, thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. Anyway, love you guys. See you later.